dumbing down. The Luciferian agenda is based on intellect, the dumbing down process, perpetuated through religion, science and magic. These three are synonymous and together form the Luciferian doctrine of Satanism, which is the enlightenment, or manifestation of knowledge. Since there is no such thing as an actual Satan, the thought process conjured up the light, or enlightenment, and every division within the 3D experience. Yet again, more clearly stated, Satanism is duality. Satanism is Luciferianism, and is the light bringer, and therefore is the concept of the Creator God. This fabricated notion of a Creator God manipulates the masses into an even deeper hypnotic state. Today, this deeper hypnotic trance state has surpassed what religion and science had accomplished hypnotically through the centuries, and especially in the last few decades. The reptilian brain-obsessed thinkers have conjured up the notion of marrying science and spirituality. Though the implication is constantly presented that intellectualism is somehow an advancement in wisdom, in reality, it is the process of absolute disconnection from reality and wisdom. New Age lunacy. This new belief system is referred to as everything from infinite love to New Age thinking, channeling, holistic healing, etc. But it's still polarity based on duality and absolutely entrenches the three-dimensional belief that energy and light is the basis of truth. Certainly some physical health benefits have been rediscovered in some ways, but health for the body without complete awareness is temporal and extremely misleading and a manipulation of reality. The medical drug system is so flawed, and purposely flawed, to allow room for New Age light workers to come up with improved healing techniques. From this, it has appeared that they must be filled with wisdom and insight. Not so, however, as improved healing techniques are simply walking deeper in the ditch of ignorance from which it is much harder to escape. The purpose of humanity is not to see how much health or prosperity we might attain. Neither are we here to worship a god in exchange for an eternity of peace and bliss. The purpose of humanity is no purpose. To become aware that the whole body of humanity is an illusion, an utter fabrication, that the 3D experience, and the conjured up body of humanity, is the veil of deceit that makes it utterly impossible to rationally conceive that it, humanity itself, is the deception keeping the disconnection from reality intact. This is what we must come to recognize. We are already in our paradise state. We are already perfect, pure, eternal and all-knowing. And we are not this body of humanity, neither are we this 3D illusory mass of energy and spirit. We are wisdom. We know all. We have to learn nothing. If it wasn't for the thought process that indoctrinates the elitists, that the thought process itself has conjured up, we would be aware and present and completely reconnected to eternally drinking from the fountain of wisdom in our paradise state. For we are the paradise state. The thought process is the trance state. The thought process is the 3D realm. Remaining emotionally connected to things of the three-dimensional realm keeps us in this trance, and conversely, detaching emotionally from believing that any of this is real, allows the realization and power of the eternal state to be ours, right now. The Garden of Eden, Garden of Need. Just below is the painting titled Bite Me, modeled by Playboy model Veronica. The message in this painting harkens back to the Garden of Eden and the hypnotic suggestions established with this old story, repeated endlessly, in almost every culture and religion, throughout history. The Garden of Eden story did not originate with the Judeo-Christian-Islamic religions, that form one half of the world's Luciferian sun worshippers of our day. The Garden of Eden story has been perpetuated throughout history, by every society, in one form or another. The subliminal attached to this story is in the name, and implies need, and implies that we are a pathetic, last hopeless, useless piece of trash. Can anyone say praise the Lord? How about this is all just one big lie? Through the manipulation instilled by the thought process, the ego, elitist worshippers perpetuating this thinking masquerade, selfishly enslave and imprison on behalf of the Luciferian egregore entities. Re, Ra, Re, way of sun god worship. Words that relate to the reptilian part of the brain tend to have an re as part of their construction. Re shows up throughout the English language frequently, either as re or. This suggests observance of the sun god. The re or sound and symbols keep repeating, because repetition is a major hypnotic tool. Hence the name Reptilian. Rep equals rep, reap, rape, to be ravished by endless attack. Reptilian equals nail it in reverse equals annihilate or destroy, nail to a cross. Reptilian, rebellion, reject, react, replicating, resist, revenge, retaliate, repetition. In other words, these sounds and symbols are designed to manipulate us to respond, thereby establishing an emotional connection with the three-dimensional illusion. This is not a coincidence. The reptilian thought process has constructed incantations and symbols into the very fabric of our language through the invention of a numbing number system. Keep in mind that this system is a system, a malignant cancerous growth. God is love. God is the light bringer. Lucifer means light bringer. Lucifer is love. Another subliminal hidden in our language is the word love. We talk about love, but you really can't nail it down, just what this word really means. Here goes. Love equals love with a long O vowel sound as in loaf. Loaf equals bread. Bread equals bread as in breeding. Breeding equals sex. Bread equals Bari or water death sacrifice sound from Egyptian mythology. Red equals blood. The word red means water death. Love equals evil equals evolve equals vulva equals eval equals all equals all I equals Allah. I all equals I'll equals as in getting married, we walk down the aisle. An extremely trance-inducing ritual. Marry is mare, the sea, and marriage is to succumb to the seduction of the sea. Love is the worship of Allah, or the all-seeing eye. This worship relates to sex, to death, to regeneration, and is used to manipulate our reality. As always, this is not right or wrong, or sinful, because sin doesn't exist. But it is deception, meant to forfeit our power into the control of the Luciferian mindset. Michael Jackson used to wear one glove on one hand. The subliminal attached to this is glove equals Y love, substituting G for Y, equals I love equals I evil equals evil I equals evil I. This is not to say that Michael Jackson was aware in the slightest of the subliminal attached to this act of wearing one glove. Love is only a hypnotic incantation word, that when repeated enough times, the victim falls into a completely vulnerable state. All we're saying when we keep telling someone that we love them, from a romantic perspective, simply means, I want to have sex with you. From a security perspective it simply means, please take care of me and I'll let you have sex with me, or I'll do something beneficial for you in return. Sex is not always intercourse either. Sex is in the mind, and involves interaction of energy, which is thought. That's all fine and dandy, but let's be aware of what's going on. There's no such thing as love, the kind of caring and compassion we somehow dream it to be. The ultimate expression of being is wisdom through awareness. Awareness of what this three-dimensional realm really is. Awareness that it is completely correct to be totally cynical, without any emotional involvement, that any good or bad is present within this 3D illusion. This whole 3D thing is a fabrication and a lie and a mere dream state. It simply does not exist. Because of its non-existence, placing value, or lending credence to an illusion by declaring strong sentiments of love within this illusion is simply manipulation of reality by the thought process. On this site, it's been demonstrated over and again, how the concept of God is the Luciferian egregore group of thinking entities, who act as the devil and as the God. They create this duality on purpose. Through shape and sound association, the word love simply means sex, or anything to do with physical gratification in any of its forms. Something to now consider, is how the phrase, God is love, is really saying that the Luciferian group of thinking entities, who is the hypnotic creator of all things, is love. Since ancient Sumer and Babylon, the reptilian brain-based elite, the first generation of purebloods, commonly called blue bloods, have continued to intermarry. No commoners have been allowed in their ranks from that time, right on up to the royal families of the world today. They're Luciferian, intellectually minded, human beings. We all have a reptilian brain, but with a watered-down, common element within humanity. Most of us have lost that close genetic link and the Kabbalistic information given through inbreeding and channeling. What inbreeding produces, is a belief system, from generation to generation, to further perpetuate the intellectual notions of the previous generation, and to build upon them. Intellectual indoctrination is acquiring the ability to manifest lies and deception, the whole time justifying the indoctrination as truth based upon previously conjured up intellectual notions. This is how Kabbalism works. When indoctrination in intellectual pursuits has achieved a deep hypnotic state within a person, that person then proceeds to deliver the indoctrination as fact and truth, based on previous intellectual deception, and those coming in contact with this delivery of intellectual nonsense, likewise falls under the hypnotic spell.